Yeah, good minute, but we're here. What's up?
What's going on?
All right, let's give it a couple minutes. Thank you so much for joining me today.
It's my pleasure. My absolute pleasure.
Hi, everyone. As you're coming in, welcome to another rendition of our Out the Frame series, where we're sitting down to talk to digital artists about their work, the space, and the future of NFTs. I am C. Sando, the digital director at One Off, and I'm talking to Otha the Third, aka Vakseen, today. What's up?
What's going on? I appreciate you having me.
I'm really excited to talk to you. So you are a painter, illustrator, crypto artist. Tell the people about you, who you are, what you do.
I'm also a music executive, a music producer as well. I wear a few belts, a few titles. But as you mentioned, I'm a visual artist more so in this lifetime right now. And I'm a traditional painter, and I've been blessed to have my work featured in galleries and museums and television shows across the world. I tapped into the NFT space. I initially started around the end of 2018, and that journey has been just as incredible. So it's just doing what I love, living each day as a dream.
Okay, let's do a little bit of a deep dive into your artwork. So you paint, you illustrate in traditional mediums, but as you said, you've also now moved into digital art. So what has that process been like, that move? You're still doing painting. You're not exclusively doing digital art, correct?
Yeah, I mean, painting is I think what I'd like to think I'm more known for in my art career. I just had a gallery opening this past weekend in San Francisco, so I'm very, very active in the fine art world. But like because I'm a traditional painter, I move a certain way within my creative process, so I never included digital within my process. But I always wanted to pick up that skill set, and I really just didn't have the time, especially after having a son. I have a young 3-year-old son now, and it feels like since he was born, like life is on fast forward. So, it was just always hard to find the time. And funny enough, once we were quarantined last year, beginning of 2020, it presented the opportunity to kind of dive in. I actually had Procreate on my iPad, and it was just sitting there probably for a year. And the quarantine gave me an opportunity. I said, okay, well, the world's slowed down. I can't do X, Y, Z that I normally would do. Can't do physical shows. So it gave me an opportunity to really just dive in and try to learn this new medium. And, it ended up being the biggest blessing, just to pick up a different skill set. One, but for me, I think one of the biggest things that helped enhance was my understanding of color theory. And I'm a self-taught artist, so everything that I've learned along the process has just been, as I learn it. And that's just one of the key elements within my work. I create these super vibrant portraits, and I was able to just increase that knowledge of color theory, but at the same time, add another notch under my belt. And little did I know how big the NFT scene would really take off. So it just felt like perfect timing within my journey that I picked up this skill set, because, the beginning of this year, I'd say as early as last year, like I started to notice that NFTs picked up, and I think while we were quarantined, but then at the beginning of this year, it's like things really exploded. And, funny enough, like I said, I've been in the NFT space since the end of 2018, but all of my NFTs were basically JPEGs of my physical work. So they they were digital in a technical sense that it was a JPEG, but they weren't true digital pieces that were created, within the digital format. So, I'm very happy that I decided to do that, and I'm still learning. It's still a process. I definitely want to tap into animation with my work, and that's something that I'm slowly learning as well. But I'm excited. I'm excited. Period.
You just gave us a little bit of a tidbit there, moving into animation. I can't wait to see that.
Oh yeah. It's just always about just taking things to that next level for me. It's like I'm just inspired, and I was saying earlier on social media, I feel like I come from a generation where you really had to be the best, period, to get respect. And I really, everything I do, I'm aspiring for greatness. So that to me means that I just have to always level myself up. I always have to take things to that next level and make sure that I'm always delivering my absolute best and pushing for growth.
So how do you feel that this process of evolving into NFTs has changed your traditional work, since you are still painting in like physical mediums? Have those, what you've learned from your digital work, has it moved over to your physical work as well?
In subtle ways, for sure. I mean, I'm known for two different bodies of work. So I'm known for my Vanity Pop series, which everything looks like it's collage or mixed media, but they're these beautiful abstract portraits that are fully hand painted. And it's definitely enhanced that process. I'd say in more of a minimal way, just like I said, my understanding of color theory, but then I'm able to say, like I'll create a small rough concept, but then I can pull it into Procreate and play around with different colors for different sections to just get a better idea. Whereas before, I just kind of have to do it and hope it works, So the greatest thing about digital is you have that undo button. You can just erase something very quickly or redo it, and that's just a major game changer. So I try to keep my Vanity Pop work as authentic to traditional art as possible, just because of the nature of what I'm doing. But my other series that I'm known for, my Pop Icons Legends Only series, it's these vibrant portraits of our leaders, our legends within Black culture. And that body of work is just, I think it's way more accessible for people that appreciate art and my art. And that is what I've really been able to dive into on the digital side, where everything that I've done for the most part since 2020, since the quarantine, has been digital, and nobody would really even be able to tell you that. Everybody thinks that they're still painted, and I do still do original paintings in that style here and there, but I think that's been a huge game changer because I've been able to experiment so much more with that body of work. Not just the colors, but even some of the textures that I'm adding now, and like the newer body of work. Like if you've seen my new Mandela piece, it has this texture, like this cloth fabric element that I'm adding in a lot of my new upcoming work. And it's something that I wouldn't have been able to do that within my physical space, not so soon anyways. So it's definitely enhanced everything about my process within that body of work, for sure.
So we were having a conversation the other day, and you said something that really stood out to me, and I wanted to repeat it back to you. You said the NFTs has truly been a game changer. And you said that you realize you haven't been dreaming. What did you mean?
Last year, like I said, I felt things really pick up for me sales wise, and the reach, people's appreciation for my work in the NFT space. And this year, things just really exploded. So, there's off top from a financial dynamic, NFTs totally changed everything that I was doing because, I will just say off just my Michael Jordan NFT alone. Like I released an edition of 6 Michael Jordan, and the first 2 sold for 15,000 a piece. And that's something I definitely didn't expect. And I can't even say that was the first one because I did a LeBron just before that. And that's the one that really opened my eyes because collectively, I did an edition of 5 or 6 of that as well. And I think collectively, all 6 editions sold for around 40K, all, collectively. And that to me it opened my mind to like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just, it's just seeing the possibilities from a financial dynamic, which automatically is going to enhance what I do creatively because I'm just inspired and not moving from a position of this starving artist, if you will, from that mentality to where I can just create freely and create what I want to do and not have to worry about anything, period. So when I said I realized I wasn't dreaming big enough, it's because pretty much everything that I've had on my list of goals, major goals, things that weren't even on the front burner of the stove, these things have happened. Like I've opened my own gallery this year and I have the official grand opening in August. That was on my dream list, but that was like kind of towards the bottom. It wasn't even like, that's like that, 5 to 10 year goal. And here I am now where I have the space and I don't just have the space, I have the space and don't have to stress about the programming that I do to bring people in, to keep the doors open and keep the lights on. Like it's a blessed situation where this gallery that I have, at this point, it's just my work. My work's filling the gallery. And I plan to curate and obviously bring community into my space. But at the end of the day, if I just wanted to do shows that evolve around me and my work, I could do that, and that's an incredible blessing. Like most people can't open a business and not have to worry about, keeping those lights on. So it's just, from dynamics like that to, even just before, around the same time all this stuff started happening this year, I ended up getting commissioned by Nike, which is like a huge, huge dream and goal of mine. So, I as much as it's funny because people in the NFT world, collectors, fans that support my work, a lot of them see what's going on within the past year, and if they're like, "Oh, it's NFTs that did this," and NFTs were a huge enhancement. But this is like 10-year plus grind. I've been a professional artist for 10 years in visual arts, but much longer than that in just entertainment and arts. Period. I've had over 20 years within the music space. So it all boils down to vision for me, the vision that I have. And like I said, I just seeing things happen that didn't seem as realistic right now. They're happening. And I literally felt like I have to recalibrate my dreams completely. You know what I'm saying? Because I've achieved X, Y, Z. And, it's like, these dreams now have to be unrealistic, as unrealistic as they felt before, So it's a blessing. Yeah. It's a major, major blessing.
You keep pushing the idea of what's impossible forward, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. I feel like what I'm hearing from you is that really NFTs have opened up accessibility. So it's not like you had the drive already, you had the talent, you have the experience, but it's just about bringing more people to this amazing work that you've been putting out.
Yeah, to dig a little deeper, it's like for me as an artist, period, no matter what your medium is, music, acting, whatever, you have to have multiple streams of revenue, period. Like that's the difference between us and the starving artists that are legends to us, but they may have lived their whole life dirt poor. So I've been blessed to in music help creators make a living, and that's something that I learned. Like you have to have multiple streams of revenue. It's not just the art. Like that's kind of the intro to your brand. Like I have the art, I have merch, apparel. There's these different options. So NFTs became, it's a new stream of revenue, but it's a very lucrative stream, and it's the future. NFTs are the future, and it doesn't just involve art. It's just the way we live, period. I think any and everything can be an NFT at this point, whether it's a home, whatever. It's like this can be an NFT, and you have provenance provided, and it's just a beautiful thing. So absolutely, accessibility. It introduced my work to a whole new audience that I can firmly say, because most of my collectors on the physical side, they don't walk in the NFT space, and then vice versa. Like my NFT collectors, they don't walk in the physical space. So it's like two different lanes, and I'm just capitalizing on all of those things that benefit me as an artist at the end of the day, so that I can continue to create, incredible work that I'm proud of, and work that I can, ultimately pass down to my son, and that's generational wealth. Like it's providing that opportunity to change the dynamics that we even face in this world as Black artists of color, period.
I want to visit the chat for a minute. Earlier, we had one of your fans from France saying "What's up," which is so dope. And is the artwork behind yours?
The Malcolm X is definitely mine. This piece right here is my incredible friend Amy Smith. I definitely love to support artists as well. So yeah. But then I have my Grade 3000 up there as well. So I mean, my art's everywhere. I like to stay inspired, and whether it's my art or somebody that I'm a fan of and love, I love to be inspired at all times. Then I have a young son as well, so it's just great that he's inspired and knows that anything he wants to do or be is possible.
I love that, and I think that that's so important, right? The whole point of opening doors is to then again hold them open for the next generation, right?
Exactly.
Chris says that the Malcolm X piece is hard. It is dope. It's super dope.
Thank you.
So you mentioned being commissioned by Nike. You have so much stuff coming up. Let's go through a little bit of it. Give people a little bit of preview of what you have coming up.
Oh man.
So the Nike campaign.
That's probably the newest thing that dropped. Incredibly blessed with that opportunity. I was commissioned to do this, to create this campaign from the visual art side of Simone Manuel, who is a 4-time Olympic medalist. I believe I saw a video where she said 20-time, winner, like just endless accolades. And she's the first African-American woman to win that in swimming, to win gold in swimming at the Olympics. So, I mean, It was just an iconic opportunity, period, to create something. And it was for their We Play Real campaign, which is basically celebrating women of color, which, they're not celebrated enough, so it was just a perfect opportunity to do something that was very meaningful, not just to me, but for us. And, it was just a powerful moment. I definitely put my all into it. And even just reading her story or watching her story, just, it broke me down. It was very emotional and just so relatable, to the struggles that we experience as Blacks in this country, especially when we're in a field where, we're the minority. We're already minorities, but then you put yourself in a situation like swimming or being a fine artist, and you don't see a lot of us. You don't see a lot of representation. So it was just a blessed opportunity to name, but it's like for one of my favorite brands, period. So that's the newest release that I had. I was just featured on the newest season of Snowfall, featured on the last season of Insecure. I have work being featured in the final season of Insecure as well. That's getting ready to drop later this year. I have my 5th museum show that opens up July 1st at W Mocha. I'm just, incredibly blessed, and and inspired at all times, and just focused. I'm somebody that, like I said earlier, I'm 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 after greatness. You know, I see myself being in art history for sure, and I'm driven towards just being the best at what I do, and making sure that, you know, a lot of the things that are kind of passed down with, you know, within our culture, within our experience, that those things kind of end with me. You know, like generational wealth, just having certain things, having accessibility to certain things, like opportunities I've never had. You know, I've been blessed to do a lot, but I've been an underdog my whole life. I've had to fight and scratch and crawl for everything that I have. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to open those doors for my son and for anybody that looks like me, because no matter how much I'm able to accomplish, I also recognize that I'm incredibly blessed, and most of us aren't in this position. You know what I'm saying? So it's just important for me to continue with this drive and this passion to continue, you know, impacting lives and just showing out for us.
That's so beautiful. I love that. I love that that's so important. You didn't mention your own gallery opening. What can you tell us about that? I'm so excited about
Yeah,
that. LA
I'm
excited.
man. Yeah, I've had so many people hitting me about the opening of this gallery, and I'm incredibly excited. It's going to be in August, which will coincide with my Maker's Place drop. I actually have a big feature drop with Maker's Place in August, and I'm lining everything up. I actually got one of my licensing partners, Fine Art Canvas. I got them to agree to sponsor my drop, and what that means is that each of the NFTs that I release, I'm working on anywhere from 4 to 8. The goal is 8 brand new pieces, and each of them is going to come with physical work as well. It's going to come with a large frame canvas, you know, up to like 50 by 60 inches, just which is a large piece. And for me, that's been very key for me in bridging that gap. Like I mentioned earlier, like most of the people that are physical collectors of my work don't walk in the NFT space, and then vice versa. So what I've been doing is I just use NFTs as a utility. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a utility for my physical work, and I'm always about delivering as much value as possible. So I've started to, like, most of the last few releases that I've had this year have been where you're getting the NFT, but then there's a physical piece attached as well. So you're going to get, you know, a signed print, you know, an embellished print, a one-of-one painting. You know, you have all these options to where it just adds that much more value, you know, to the equation. And, you know, so you have, it's just like, that's the key. Like everybody wants as much as they can get as possible. And I think that's how you keep people coming back. Treat them, you know, just with Southern hospitality. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? Southern hospitality. I'm from the South, so we're going to welcome you in, and we're going to give you the world and make sure that you come back. You know what I'm saying? And I almost forgot, like I have you know, I have a Crypto Voxels gallery as well. So all 3 of these things are aligning within the August release. So we're going to have the NFT drop on Maker's Place. We're going to have my physical space, Vakseen Art, which is in North Hollywood, California, Los Angeles. And not to mention, I've been in the Valley in North Hollywood for 10 years. It's been 10 years since I moved to LA. And there are very few galleries in the Valley, period. There are definitely no Black-owned galleries. And even as I was researching, you know, just my space and everything that I was creating, I found out that as of last year, the count was that there were only 23 Black-owned spaces in Los Angeles, period, which blew my mind, because it's like, this is a city of so much diversity, you know what I'm saying? But you only have 23 Black-owned spaces. So, you know, it's everything I'm doing at all points, I have an understanding that it's so much bigger than me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's literally us. everything I'm doing is us. Anybody that looks like me or even remotely like me, you know what I'm saying? It's to open those doors for us because I'm used to being the only black, in most of the shows that I'm featured in. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what it is. And we just,
Yeah.
it's sad because you don't see a lot of representation of us within the fine art world, within art world, period. I was just in San Francisco for my gallery open, went to the San Fran MoMA, and as inspired as I am always in a museum setting, it was saddening because you didn't see a lot of representation of us, and if you did, it was related to the horrific past, the slavery element, or just you didn't
Yeah.
see anything that just was inspirational. Like, yeah, I want to be like that. I want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't see any of this, and I understand that that art is powerful, and I have the ability to make these changes that I want to see. And that's, at the end of the day, that's what Vakseen means. Being the change that you want to see, the cure for the ailments in life, no matter which, no matter how you see it. That's what it represents for me. And yeah, it's a blessing. I'm super excited, if you can't tell. And passionate about what I'm doing, but I'm excited about August and just being able to share all of this new stuff with the world. And even the body of work that I'm working on, it's a new body of work that celebrates Los Angeles legends. So it's something that's gonna bring community in and make us in the community feel connected. And when I say community, I mean everybody. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm definitely about diversity and just inclusion. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's gonna feel at home in the space.
I love that accessibility is so important to you. So not only are you launching your gallery in Los Angeles, but the entire world is able to participate because you're also having this opening in the metaverse. That is amazing. I love that.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I know that all of us at One Off are so excited to be partnering with you on the Metaverse project. It's already looks so dope. I'm really, really excited to see it launch.
Man, listen, One Off has been like the hugest blessing for me within the crypto space, period. They have opened so many doors for me. They're one of my biggest collectors. For a long time, they had, they did. I did a self portrait last year of myself, and it was just like a very powerful piece that I released shortly after, like, the George Floyd, um, after his murder, and it portrayed me as a target, and it was just something that was very heartfelt and just emotional and just raw and vulnerable. And they purchased that piece, and that was, it that's what really opened my eyes, because it was my biggest NFT sale for a long time. And it opened my eyes to the possibility of something that is just truly meaningful. Like, I would never think somebody would purchase a self portrait. You know what I'm saying? One, but then it just showed that like, I believe in myself at all times, but sometimes you need that extra little nudge or boost to be like, yeah, you're not crazy. You know what I'm saying? Keep going. And One Off did that and so much more, because from there, where it just started as them being a collector of my work, it turned into an amazing, fruitful relationship where any questions I have, any advice I need, they're the only people that I'm going to. Brandon, Herman, like, I'm hitting them directly, like, yo, what do you think about this? Yo, is this smart? Should I do this? Should I do that? And I don't really, I'm a one man team, and I always have been, and I'm a manager for talent, so I don't necessarily feel like I need to hit other people for advice, but it's just they've been such a blessing. You know what I'm saying? To be able to be here in my corner, supportive, and help and guide me throughout this space. And like you said, like, they helped my whole crypto voxels space in the metaverse. Like, that happened because of One Off. I'm in the Black Arts District, which is spearheaded by One Off. So it's just, they've been incredible. They've been the biggest blessing. In any opportunity that I get, I have to show thanks. I have to show love, and put them up on the pedestal that they deserve to be on.
That piece that you're talking about was my intro to your work, and
Oh man,
it's still so powerful, so powerful.
thank you, thank you. I think until we're free, until there's equality, like true equality, it's always going to be timely. You know what I'm saying? It's always going to have that power because we're targets. You know what I'm saying? Even and no matter and the sad part is no matter what level you reach, whether you're a millionaire or a billionaire, you're still a target. And you see that every day with the videos of this person getting pulled over, this person, it doesn't matter. All that matters to them is the color of our skin. So
Yeah.
I appreciate
Let's
it.
say until we're all free, none of us are free, right?
Exactly.
All right. Let's do a little bit of a fun part of the conversation. We're going to play a little game of would you rather. So you just got to pick one or the other. Which would you rather do? Okay. Would you rather be chronically overdressed or chronically underdressed?
Overdress.
Really? So suits and tux all day.
Um, it's funny because when you say it like that, it makes me think about the question a little differently.
What were you thinking?
I don't know. It was just the initial thought of which I would rather be stylistically. Maybe not necessarily in my day to day. In my day to day, I'm super comfortable. Sports athletic gear like any day, all day. It's funny enough in Miami we used to always have to be dressed up, go out no matter what you did, you had to be dressed up. But now that I live in LA, it's everybody's walking around with pajamas and
Yeah, flip flops.
yeah. So I've gotten accustomed to that, but I'd much rather look amazing and feel amazing than bummy in just a general sense.
Fair. That's fair. That's fair. Would you rather have universal respect or unlimited power?
Respect.
Okay. Reason?
I mean, respect gives you power.
Truth? Very true.
Power is just good.
True. Okay. Would you rather only be able to listen to one song for the rest of your life or only be able to watch one movie for the rest of your life?
Um, I don't know. As much as I love music, one song might drive me crazy. I'm only one song. That's gonna drive me crazy. I think I wouldn't go so crazy with one movie. Um, there's more longevity with one movie, so I'll go with one movie.
Do you know what movie it would be?
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
You don't know?
Something I don't know. Something like a classic comedy, like I don't know, like Don't Be a Menace or something classic that'll just keep me engaged on a humor. Like if we can only watch one movie, I bet my ass better be laughing the rest of my life.
That's fair. Comedy is a good choice. Would you rather be alone for your entire life or be surrounded by people that you can't stand at all times?
That feels personal. I love my company, and I keep to myself pretty much anyways. So alone for sure.
Okay. Word.
I don't have a lot of tolerance for the bullshit. I do not. I don't. I couldn't even last a day with a bunch of people that I can't stand.
Yeah. We are the same. We are the same way. Chris says that his one movie would be Human Centipede. I don't know why. I cannot even finish that movie once. I could watch that for the rest of my life. Oh my gosh.
Hilarious.
Okay. Last one. Would you rather be poolside or seaside?
Seaside.
I like that one.
I'm headed to
All
Cabo
right.
tomorrow.
And to close, where can we find out more about you? Where can we keep in touch? Obviously, there's your Instagram.
Yep.
What else?
I'm pretty much Vakseen on all social media platforms, but vaccaineart.com is the hub. You can sign up for my mailing list. Um, that's that's where you're gonna find all the information. And then IG, I think, is definitely second from there because that's always my go-to, just as a visual content creator, and Twitter followed by that. Like, I definitely love to engage in Twitter. Not as much as I don't have as much time as I would like, but it's still a social media platform that I appreciate.
Okay, thank you so much for talking to me today. Super appreciative. Thank you everyone for joining us. This has been such a dope conversation, and I cannot wait. We are definitely going to post when your opening is in LA. I'm so excited.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Absolutely. All right, cool. We'll hear from you soon.
Sounds good. Peace.
Bye everyone. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in.